It's my 2015 76 series Landcruiser I bought back in 2018 with 46,000 Ks. So I've had this car for quite a while, and most of the modifications I've done to it myself, apart from the bull bar that it came with, which is a TJM bull bar, which has been great. It's hit a few things and never dented, I suppose. Early on in the build, the oil catch can. I'm one of the people that think that they're a good thing for the car and separates the thing. It's had the EGR delete done it. I've got the secondary fuel filter over here, which is a diesel doctor or the performance ones. Also I run dual batteries under the bonnet, which charges off the alternator, as well as a solar panel on the roof. Biggest problem I've had with dual batteries under the bonnet, I find, is the largest capacity I have is 110 amp hours. Lithium seems to be coming a long way these days, and they reckon you can get a lot more out of it, but for now this is what we've got. But it seems to manage fine running 2 fridges and charging all our accessories, laptops and all that sort of stuff. But we do find if we are settled in one spot for more than a few days and there's no sunlight around, we do notice the batteries do charge to drop. The oil filter, the air filter as well, I run a unifilter oil foam filter. Find they're a lot better for the dust, especially on some of the roads. We've never had any dust on the engine side of the filter. I think it's a great way, and it's easy to clean and refilter while you're on the road. I keep most basic spares in the tool bag, so any problems we come across I've managed to get on top of. So on the front with the TJM bar, I actually have the worn winch, which has been good. We have had to use it a couple of times, especially trying to help other people get unstuck. I did have a King's one on it originally that was with it, and it failed on me when I did need it. It's got the aluminium bash plates under the car. Tried to reduce the weight as much as you can by using aluminium. The X-ray spotlights, I believe they're from like BCF or something like that. They were on the car when I got it. And I've got the steady 51-inch light bar on the roof. If you are wondering about the cable ties on the number plate, I've lost my number plate on a water crossing before. I did tell myself I was going to bolt it down a bit better before we left, and I never did. So cable ties was the next best thing. The other thing I can recommend if you're going to do a lot of water crossings is just take it off and sit in the front windscreen. That's allowed in a lot of places. This is our Bushbacker True Blue awning. It's been absolutely great over all the travels we've done. With this, it's just a basic forward drive. We don't have dip locks or anything like that. There are times that it probably would have been handy. Always run the BF Goodrich 33-inch tyres. Never had any real dramas with them. I've tried a lot of different tyres over the years and always seem to be going back to them. They're 285, 75, 16. Strap bars, I don't remember what brand they are, to be honest. I just made them fit. Run the Safari Armax snorkel, so it's got plenty of air going into it. And we've had water coming up over, halfway up the windscreen, and never found any water in the air filter, so pretty happy with that. It's got running about the 2 aerials. One's just for the UHF, and the other one is for the Self-I Go phone booster, which I do find works well in a lot of areas, but I'm finding that somewhere where it's a bit more hilly, it seems to have a bit more trouble picking it up. But anywhere out in the open flats, it's great. Like, I take a lot of work calls while we're travelling, and I got sick of it dropping out basically, and that did stop a lot of the issues. This is just the shower awning that we use on the side. We want a bit of privacy. We run in conjunction with a hot water setup that we got. Bush Company Alpha tent, which we bought a couple of years ago now, and it just set on 4, I think they're Tracklander load bars and alley cab load bars. Rated 200 kilos on the roof, and always been pretty happy with the way the Alpha's been. Like, we jump in and out of it, it's run into trees, brush up against trees, other cars, and still in really good condition. This is the unique 4x4 rear bar. It's been really good. It was simple enough to fit for 2 guys. I do most of the modifications myself and carry 2 spares. As I run a different offset on the rear, but if you ever got stuck, you could always just run one. But in my case, I have been stuck and had 2 flats on the road, so it's definitely something I see as essential. The gas bottle, I use it's a front runner gas bottle mount and holder. I just welded up a bit of a bracket for the middle of the spare wheel, and we just run an extra strap through the bottom of it just for a bit of extra security. You know, some of them corrugations, they jumps around a fair bit. Under the car, we actually have 50 litres of water and 265 litres of diesel. So the main tank holds 180 litres and the auxiliary tank is 85. Finding it's good being able to carry that much fuel, especially the way the fuel prices are these days. It's been, you know, brilliant. Really happy with the long range of fuel tanks under the bottom. The water pump as well, we've just got it set up on the tap underneath. That's only 50 litres, but that's enough for the both of us for all our washing. And you know, if we run out of water in the car, we drink out of that too with a filter. It seems to be keeping pretty well. That's the basic rundown of the external side of the Cruiser. Crash pad, you know, bin bag, great bag. Bad to say there, it's been a good thing. And welded up a bit of a bracket for the high lift jack on. The good thing about having the bull bar and the steel rear bar and the side steps, you've sort of got anywhere to jack off when you need to. It's quick and easy enough to get it off. Yeah, that's the basic rundown on that side of the car. It does have a GVM upgrade, actually 3660 kilos, so keeps it within our weight. You know, so other than that, it's been a pretty good thing. I'm pretty happy with the car itself, so yeah. So this is the Waco center console fridge that we have. We do use it as a freezer mainly, just keep frozen veggies and a bit of chicken and fishing bait and that sort of stuff in there. In the back we have bags on the back of the parcel shelf that I installed. You know, I keep fishing reels and stuff there. There's, you know, some of the whole stuff there, and I'm not even sure what's in that one. My fishing rods get kept in this tube up the top. I saw it on another page, I can't remember who it was, but I thought it was a brilliant idea to just hang up a couple of hockey straps across the roof, so we can hang the hats up without them getting crushed under everything. But we do have a lot of stuff in here. We've got the drone and the laptop and, you know, bag, and we've got tools down here on the bottom with the water. One of the things that has made it awkward to pack this year is because in Western Australia, a chemical toilet is actually quite a big thing over here. You have to have a chemical toilet to camp in a lot of places in Western Australia, so, and you will be checked. So if you do plan on doing the west coast of Australia, I recommend carrying something like that. That is probably the smallest one you can buy. It's only a 10 litre toilet, but anyway, that's what we've got. Otherwise there's just bags and just what we live out of while we're here. So these are the Cruiser Company Gold Wing windows. So not a bad price what they are, and easy enough to fit. If you ever want to go back to the factory windows, it's another thing. We just use this side for pretty basic storage. It's got our hoses and fittings and a filter that we use to fill up the water tank under the car, as well as we keep 15 litres in the car. There's a tub and a bucket and pumps and all hose accessories kept in a couple of bags, pegs for the walls for the awning, shower from Kick-Ass, which has been a beauty. It's managed to hang on for quite a while and gone through some rough roads. So in the back of the 76 we've got the ARB rear drawers, which came with the car. Modified them a little bit to suit the side cupboards. So with the cupboards, I've made it so we've got storage all the way down to the bottom of the floor. both sides and over the wheel arches, so utilise all that space we can. These bags we just bought them from Grab Me Gear. I can't remember what they were, but they were cheap enough. And, we've got the K-On rear parcel shelf and top shelf where we keep things like blankets, the walls for the awning, toilet paper and accessories, electrical goods, a spare rain jacket. We keep the Weber in the bag. On this shelf here, I always like to have my barbecue. There's not anywhere I go without it. And then we've got our cooker as well, which is a Coleman Hyperflame, and works really well in all the windy conditions that we've had. It's never cut out on us in the windy weather or anything like that. Two of the Black Wolf chairs, they sort of pack up quite small for what they are. They're not super big, super small, but they're comfy enough. The angle, I've had the angle for years. It's just on the MSA drop slide. It's been there for however many years now, and the fridge has never turned off since I've had it. It's been in there since I've owned the car. Made a little rack for the access for when I need to bust up a bit of wood, I suppose. And other than that, you can't go wrong really. The 5-foot lifetime table sort of packed away there neatly. And everything's sort of within reach to grab. Everything else sort of comes out nice and easy. Front runner drop down table. I do use this a bit, especially when I'm filleting fish and stuff like that. I've also made it so it's got a little bit of extra room in the doors. Sort of just made up a panel myself and cut it up and painted it up and put it in there. And just where we keep all our washing and staples as well. On this side, we chuck whatever in there that's handy at the time. Toilet paper, paper towel, whatever fits in there at the time, but we do use both the sides. Trying to utilise as much space as we can. Right in the drawer, we keep all our cooking utensils. Got a deep pan, a shallow pan. Jet boil is probably one of the handier things we've got in there. Use this just about every day. Can't go wrong. All our cutlery and everything else is sort of packed away under there. In the back there. This side I use for all my basic tooling. This is probably the heaviest drawer in the whole car, but it's got everything we need. We've got our air pump, we've got a reciprocating saw because we don't have the room to carry a chainsaw. Jumper leads, basic tooling, spare bolts, spare belts and hoses and everything we need for the car in case something does go wrong. So far, any little issues or anything we've ever had, managed to get on top of it. So, yeah, that's that.
This is our pantry. It's been upgraded from last year. Dennis installed these before we left on our trip. So storage at the top for small containers, jars, everything like that. Got a couple of these tubs, which are also good. Storage, spices, everything down the side there, oils, milks. And the pantry actually goes all the way down, so we have potatoes, pastas and everything down the bottom.